if you could just be king for a day and advise startups across the world to just say, if you have these 3 to 5 contracts in place as a start, once you know what the structure needs to be, what would those be?
The first one goes to the absolute basics of a business. When you, as the founder, have set up your business and you appoint the first person.
Yes.
It is alarming how many small businesses do not have employment contract, and how badly people can trip up. This conversation is going to lead into a bit of intellectual property as we carry on.
Yeah.
But I want to start that part of the discussion now already. If the assumption and the way that people can trip up, if I'm employing you in my business and we happen to be some technological outfit that's making something magic,
Yeah.
and I am paying you a salary, there's the assumption that what you do belongs to our business.
Yes.
It is the assumption. I think if you have to ask 100 people in the street, probably 80% of them will say to you, of course, that's the assumption. It's not necessarily true. It's not necessarily true. I have seen businesses broken about that concept, where an employee comes up with a piece of thinking, a piece of technology, a piece of coding,
Yes.
And because of an incorrectly structured employment agreement,
Wow.
in the end, that belongs to that employee and not to the business.
Wow.
It of course differs in different jurisdictions, but again, it's one of those fundamental things. When you appoint somebody, yes, of course you want to document their leaves and their maternity leave, and you want to document Catherine, which goes to the heart of the business that needs to be regulated.
Yeah.
The second thing is, if you happen to choose on a corporate or a company structure as your business, it's the shareholders agreement, which navigates and manages the relationship between shareholders.
Yes.
And as with any agreement, or 9 out of 10 agreements, it's something you put in the drawer. You don't use it every day.
Yeah.
But boy, there's a day when you open the drawer when you need that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just want to park on one part, for example, of this.
Yeah.
We started our conversation earlier today by saying it's cheap to hand out shares.
Yeah.
But now, what if you've got an employee who's become disgruntled? He's now also a 10% shareholder in your company.
Yeah.
He doesn't work for you anymore.
Yeah.
He's sitting with those shares, and he's making it hard for you for the rest of your life, and there's nothing you can do about it. And there's a very common set of terms for this. It's called levers.
Yes.
You can have a good lever and a bad lever. Sometimes people just move on and say, listen, I found something better. I'm not angry at you and all that. But up front in a shareholders agreement, you've then agreed, okay, well, if that's the case, I'm not angry at you, but you have to sell your shares.
Yes.
You contractually have to sell your shares now. If you're a bad lever, if you've hurt me, you also have to sell your shares, but now at a discount. It's one example of things that are embodied in a shareholders agreement. Yeah. And if people do it right in the beginning, it is that thing. It's like an anti-nuptial contract in marriage. It sadly is there to navigate the hardship if ever the hardship comes.